Mackie Albertson, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming into the show. As of a few days ago, I had no clue about your show or who you guys were, and your episode popped up in my YouTube algorithm. And I watched it and had a very visceral reaction to your story because I've been into this topic since I was about 8 years old, and seeing you talk about what you went through, it felt very, very genuine. And I love the way that you came at it in a very non-dramatic kind of way. It was just like kind of like an exciting new experience that you shared with your friend Amanda. And if you wouldn't mind just kind of talking to this audience about what happened and why we're here.
Okay, well, I had a very strange experience happen. It's probably almost 3 weeks ago now, where I woke up at 5 a.m. and opened my eyes and saw what looked to be an alien standing in the corner of my room. And it was the type thing where I was just fully awake and saw it standing there. And for a few seconds, I was like, what is that? And then,
what the fuck is going
yeah,
on here?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What the fuck
is that thing? And so I was looking at it, and I mean, to me, it looked like it had to be like 6'5", and it was just in the corner, and it had like a beigey skin color, like not super gray or anything. Its shoulders were pretty narrow. The whole body was just really lean. You can see every muscle and vein and everything underneath the skin. And the eyes were big and the almond shape, but it wasn't like giant head or anything. It was like our size head. And
Sure.
yeah, it was just standing there, and pretty much immediately I started hearing it talk to me in my head, just letting me know that it's just observing or just watching, not going to harm you. And I instantly just felt so calm and like comforted, where I just said, okay. And I rolled over to go back to sleep and just continue to repeat those things over and over and over again to me.
How long did you see it for?
When I opened my eyes, I probably was looking at it for about 3 seconds before like the communication started. And then I continued to look at it for probably 20 more seconds. And then that's when I rolled over.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was staring right at it, just like, I just like couldn't believe it.
How far from it were you?
I was probably like 7 or 8 feet away from it.
Wow.
'Cause I was laying in bed and it was just right there and just completely still. It had its arms just kind of crossed a little bit. And I was telling Amanda, like, instantly the feeling I had was like it was someone holding a clipboard standing there. It wasn't holding a clipboard or anything, but it really just gave me like the impression of just being like observed
And what
taking out.
And what did it say to you?
It just kept saying, we're just observing, we're just watching, and it's not going to harm me.
Wow. And what is your history or your interest in this topic before now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always had kind of a weird relationship with like paranormal in general. Like some of my earliest memories are of spirit stuff. So just like other worldly things. And so
what are those experiences?
With the paranormal?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I grew up in a haunted house and
In California?
In California, yeah, in Orange County.
Okay.
And ever since I was probably around 3 is my earliest memories of waking up in the night and seeing, well, kind of like the same vibe, like something standing in the corner, just like a dark shadow figure, but that was demonic and not good.
You felt that?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And it would do things like it would pull the sheets, it would pull my legs. It was really bad.
How long did that go on for?
Oh, jeez, that went on like forever. I mean, my parents still have the house and I still live in the house and there's still stuff that happens there, but it's not nearly as like demonic or anything now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How many people in the house when you were growing up?
my mom, dad, and brother. So there's 4 of us.
And did you all have experiences with whatever this was?
I was the one mainly having the experiences. Even to this day, my brother hasn't really like, he doesn't have those type of experiences for some reason. But in the past, probably 7 years, my parents have started having more experiences now. Before they were super closed off about it. And I found out because when my dad was young and growing up, he also was having demonic experiences like that. So he was really freaked out by it. So if I try to talk about it, he like wasn't having it.
And were your dad's experiences kind of similar with the same type of energy and the same type of the thing? Like, did it fuck with him in the same way or?
Yeah, I think I know it was demonic, and he would deal with like sleep paralysis and stuff like that. But more recently, which is like super crazy to me because my dad doesn't really talk about this stuff. When I told my parents about the alien experience, my dad told me that he also had an experience like in his 20s with it. That
was a really fascinating part of your video. And that's another part of what you said that really caught my ear is because you hear time and time again of people that have these experiences who one of their parents has also had similar experiences. So to now hear you say that your dad also had kind of paranormal poltergeist type stuff is really interesting. And I know growing up, I've been into UFOs, like I said, since I was a kid, and didn't really pay much attention to ghosts or that kind of paranormal. And the more I like get into this and the more I learn, there's more overlap than I realized with both of these things.
Yeah, I mean, even with me, because so basically when I was 8 years old, I had an experience where I was laying in my parents' bed on my stomach, like at the end of the bed like that, watching George Lopez. Like I remember specifically George Lopez. And it was around 8 o'clock at night. I always had a hard time going to sleep as a kid. Like it was a struggle for my parents every night to try to get me to go to sleep.
I'm the same to this day.
Yeah. And so I'm watching George Lopez and I blinked my eyes and it was morning and I was in the bed, right, like facing the right direction, still wearing the same clothes, everything. And I remember just panicking because I blinked my eyes and it was morning. It just like felt so different and like off to me. And I was telling my mom I was really scared, and this went on for about 2 weeks of me just being really, really freaked out about this. And at the same time, I had this mark on my arm. And so I showed my mom that, and she thought that was weird. But I mean, there wasn't really anything she could say of like what happened.
Sure.
And I didn't really remember anything, but then over time I'd get like flashes of like just a memory of like being surrounded by lights. And it always felt like it tied back to that. And so it's always been something that I've thought about so much as just such a vivid childhood memory of that weird thing that happened and not being able to explain it and just, not really having any answers for that.
Before you even show me, I want to ask you about the scar that you have. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
But I want to ask you, is there any chance it's like a little raised, bump or like a almost like not a keloid, but like a little skin tag?
Yeah, a little bit.
Can I take a video of it? Do you mind? Cool. If you wouldn't mind. Where is it at?
It's right here.
Oh, yeah.
So there's one right there, and then there's 2 white dots right above it.
So my next question was going to be, are they in the shape of a triangle?
Yes.
Whoa.
And when I was younger, it almost looked like a red burn a little bit. And so my mom remembers all of that. So when I was telling her the other night about this weird experience I had with this alien in my room, and I was like, I said something about like the scar, and she's like, it's still there? Because she didn't even know. And I'm like, yeah. And I didn't even know if she would remember that. And she's like, I totally remember it being there and everything. She's like, I didn't know it was still there. I'm like, yeah, it's always been there. And then depending, like if I get really hot or anything, like the 2 other white dots
they get more pronounced.
Yeah.
Or when you get a tan or something, I imagine.
Exactly.
When you were 8, we're going to bounce around if you don't mind, because I just have so many questions. But when you were 8 and you woke up what you said 8 hours later, it felt like, or was it was, you were laying there at night and you blinked your eyes and then it was morning.
Yeah.
Do you remember if you were like hungry? Did you feel like you had to like use the restroom? Was there any kind, do you remember how you felt when you woke up?
Oh, when I woke up.
Yeah. Besides confused.
No, all I remember is just being like, almost like a panic attack feeling. Like, I don't remember like being hungry or having to go to the bathroom or anything like that. It was like almost like I just sprung out of bed and was like looking for my mom to be like.
And you told her right away?
Yeah.
And how did she react when you first told her? Do you remember?
Yeah, she was saying, she's like, well, sometimes when we're really tired, like you forget falling asleep. And I mean, that's happened to me before, but I just remember being like, it was not that. Like,
clearly
it was
different
just
situation.
a blink, and it was, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
I want to talk about when you heard the voice from the being in your room. Can you describe that again for me?
Like what the voice sounded like, or
what the whole experience? Because I've had a similar thing.
Okay.
And that's the way you described it was so perfect. Because I just wanted you to talk about that.
Yeah. So when I heard the voice, it wasn't a male voice or a female voice. It wasn't my voice. It was just like these sentences being placed in my brain, but like I could hear it, but it didn't sound like anything, but it's just there. It's like, I really cannot describe it. Like
the way this happened to me on June 10th, 2023.
Okay.
I was not far from here. I was at like a diner, and I don't meditate, but like my wife is like, she meditates, a ton. So I know kind of how it works. And I kind of closed my eyes and I asked, like, if there's something out there, I would like to experience something. I'm ready. I'm unafraid. And I heard like a voice in my head say, open your eyes and look to the right. I'm wide awake. It was like 1 a.m. and I looked across the street and I watched like a craft materialize right in front of me.
Oh my God.
No being, no nothing, but just this like weird, it wasn't never totally fully in reality. It was kind of like hazed out. And then I watched it for 2 full minutes before it kind of turned off the way it kind of turned on. Yeah. But the voice was like, mine was definitely more on the masculine side.
Okay.
And I feel like I didn't hear it. It's not like I didn't hear it with my ears.
Yeah.
It was just like, it's like, I know it's silly, but it was like, for me, the clearest form of communication I have ever received in my entire life. It was like, there was no other sound and it was just in the center. And it was like words, but I didn't hear them, but I heard something and it was a feeling. Do you know what I mean? Is that kind of what it was like for you?
It like cut through everything else.
Oh, that's so crazy.
And yeah, it's like, I don't even know. It was, like you said, like the clearest form of communication where there was like no doubt in my mind, like what it was saying. It's like the words are being like hardwired into your brain.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It was just the craziest thing where looking back on it, like the next morning, I was like, well, it's actually the drummer in my band, Gustav, was like, well, what do you sound like? I'm like, and that's when I figured out, like, it didn't sound like a guy or a girl, or it didn't sound like anything. It was, I don't even know, but same thing. Like, I knew somehow that whatever was there was like more masculine, like definitely like masculine.
Sure.
But yeah, the voice was just.
So I've spoken to other people who've had these experiences, and I've spoken to women who have heard like a more feminine voice, and I heard kind of a more masculine voice. You don't have to answer this, but this popped in my head last night, and please don't be insulted.
Okay.
Do you identify as man or woman, or are you like, are you, because I'm wondering if there was like a middle, like a non-gendered voice.
That is an interesting concept.
You don't have to respond, but
no,
yeah.
I'm just identify as woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was maybe some kind of correlation with there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I remember when it happened to me, it felt like to me, I tell everyone, it felt like it was like a gift to me in a weird way, having this experience. And when you talked about how you miss the being, that was really interesting. Like, Now that you're a few weeks away from
Yeah.
it, how are you feeling on that front?
I mean, I still kind of feel the same way where it's like, because I don't even know what it was. Like, I've never felt more like comfortable and like comforted by something ever. I don't even know how to describe it.
Explain that more if you can. Just
Okay.
the feeling of the feelings of when you saw it and how it. Do you feel like it calmed you down, or do you feel like you were just calm?
I think it probably calmed me down because for a split second when I first opened my eyes, I could feel that kind of like drop in my chest of like, oh God, like what's that? For like this just a split second. And then I just felt calm. Like whatever it was, like it was totally fine. Like I was safe. Like and nothing was gonna hurt me. And I was just completely fine just closing my eyes and with it and even turning my back to it, which I'm like, I don't
That
like
part
having
blew
my
my
back
mind.
to anything.
Right, sure,
Like
sure.
to any
Sure,
like
sure.
anywhere.
Okay.
And so I just naturally was like didn't even think about like, okay, I'm just gonna roll over and have my back to it and it's fine to be there. And like I'm not even questioning my mind if I'm gonna be like hurt or not. Like, yeah.
Does any part of you think that whatever it was, you call him he, you said it was you?
Yeah, I
okay.
definitely think it was, yeah.
Does any part of you think that he influenced you to go back to sleep?
That's a good question.
Because turning your back on something like that seems so counterintuitive to something being in your room.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard stuff before of like of people having this calmness come over and kind of just like going back to whatever they were doing or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if I naturally was like, okay, I'm just gonna go back to sleep, or if it did like kind of guide me into just being like, okay, I'm just gonna go back to sleep. Because in the past, when it's something paranormal, like growing up and I would have that experience with like the demonic thing, like there's no way in hell I was turning my back to it or going back to sleep with it there.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah, it's very scary.
Like
This
please, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, in those instances when I was younger and like the demonic thing was there, I would run into my parents' room and try and get my mom to come in with me, or I would just sleep right in between them. But yeah, this was like a polar opposite version of that, where I was just like the most level of comfort compared to like the most level of distress, where it's just two completely different things.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the next morning when you told your parents, did you explain it to your parents the same way you told Amanda in your video? Or how did that conversation go? And what was their immediate kind of reaction?
Well, I actually waited about a week to tell my parents because I was like, I need to let everything settle and like wrap my mind around it first. Because even though I was like calm in the moment when it happened, the next morning when I woke up, that's when I was like, what the fuck was that? Mm-hmm. Like, what did I just experience? What did I see? That's when it like, for that entire day, it was almost like having a crisis because I'm like, I couldn't believe what I actually just saw.
Yep. When I had my thing, I didn't tell my wife and I, like, we talk about everything. We're very open. She's down with all this kind of stuff and open-minded. And I didn't tell anybody for 3 weeks. It just felt like this is something. Well, the difference is like mine is something that I asked for. Yours was kind of just put on you, but mine felt like this is just for you. Like, this is just a thing for you. And I didn't tell anyone for 3 weeks.
That's kind of like what I was unsure of too. I'm like, is this supposed to be just for me? But also at the same time, I'm like, I can't keep this in. Like I needed to tell.
Like, it's great content, you know?
Well, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, so I pretty much immediately, maybe the next day I had like practice with my band and I like told them because I just like had to get it out because I'm like, am I in psychosis? What's happening? But, so I let them know. And then, I still wanted to give it some time before telling my parents, even though I knew my parents would be super open to it because they are super into like aliens.
Oh, they are.
Oh yeah. That's like the paranormal, like ghosts, like so they were never really into that, but aliens, they've always been like, all they watch is like ancient aliens and all that stuff. And so I didn't really want like a big reaction right away. So that's why I was like, I'm not going to tell him yet. But yeah, so when I did decide to tell them, I let my mom know, and she had like a bunch of questions, of course. And she believed me like right off the bat, because I'm the type person, like I'm not like super talkative all the time and don't just say things randomly. And so she like really appreciated that I would like open up about this stuff with her. So I told her, and then she went and got my dad. So I had to tell my dad. And that's when they basically said they both believe me. And then that's when my dad let both me and my mom know about his alien experience that he had.
Let's hear about that.
Told us that ever. So basically he said when he was in his 20s, he's from Oregon, from Medford, and he was going to college somewhere in Oregon. He was driving back from Klamath Falls, and he said he was going past Mount Shasta. It was super late at night going home, and he saw what he could only describe as a UFO. Like he's tried to figure it out like all these years, I guess. Did he explain
kind of what it looked like or anything like that?
My dad's like super vague, and he doesn't like going into any details, because it's still like, it's hard for him to talk about this stuff, I think. So like we were trying to ask him questions. He's like, hold on. Like, and we're like, okay. But yeah, he said he saw what he thought was a UFO, and then next thing he knew is hours later, and he just had all this missing time, and he was still on that same road, which is hours later.
Is that the only experience that he's had that he's aware of or has talked to you about?
I mean, he then started to tell me that he's had other experiences, like waking up in the middle of the night and like seeing things also, and just super weird, like vivid dreams of being like somewhere else, like with beings.
Really?
Yeah, but just really, really like weird dreams, he said.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, because it actually started it out after I told him the story. He's like, well, I think that might be my fault. And I was like, what do you mean by that? Like, what? And that's when he told me. But,
sure.
Yeah.
I imagine you've been researching like crazy since this kind of happened, or not really. I don't know.
I researched like the day after, because I was really like, I had such the vivid image of what it looked like in my head. I wanted to see like if I could find any picture that was relatively close to what I saw. And so I did some researching on that, and I found some pictures that were somewhat similar, and they're all saying that it was like a tall gray alien, even though the one I saw wasn't super gray. But
there's a thing like I think they're called grays, but they're beige, they're brown, they're gray. I mean, I think they're maybe like people, where like Caucasian white people are white, but there's different shades of the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was doing some research last night too, just about like the observer type beings, because they kept telling you that you're just observing.
Yeah.
And I found this, which was fascinating. Just read through that and look what's circled there.
Okay.
You can read it.
Okay. It says, less common but reported tall silent watchers, 5.5 to 6.5 feet. These are rare, but when present, usually stand in doorways or corners. Do not touch the person, often perceived as in charge of the smaller ones. Sometimes only one is present.
I mean, and where was yours standing?
In the corner, right next to the door.
Right. A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
That's crazy.
Can you describe for me? I just love details. Like, can you describe just as much as you can, as many details as you can about what it looked like, it smelled like, or anything that you can remember?
Okay. So I remember looking at like the head first, and it had the big almond eyes, but no, it wasn't just like on the front of the face. It was kind of like more like streamlined on the side. And
like almost like wrap around a little bit, or
I mean a little bit, just a little bit though, where I mean, I guess you see like the classic alien with the eyes just right on the front of it. It was like more just like back, and its head was like around the same size as ours, just like went a little bit further back. And I just remember like the jaw like down here really like tapered in. But it was like more human-like than I would expect in a way, like same facial type structure.
Nose? Was there a nose?
No,
okay.
I don't think there was a nose. Or there were like two like just like dots, but there was like no no like nose sticking out. It had like a smaller mouth and almost like cheekbones in a way, where it was like kind of like hollowed in here, but just like a really
like a model, like a beautiful model.
Yeah. What else? Yes.
Zoolander.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Oh yeah, I love Zoolander.
Right.
And then it had like a thinner neck. Its shoulders were, it was like its shoulders were like this wide, so I don't know what that is, like a foot maybe.
So relatively like not broad shoulders.
Yeah, not broad shoulders. And I just remember its arms being like the most like prominent, where they're thin, but you could just see like every single muscle. Like, do you know that that exhibit in Vegas, Bodies?
Body World.
Yeah.
I've been in LA here.
Okay, yeah.
It's incredible.
And you see like the bodies like without the skin, it's like the muscle and everything. It was like very similar to that, how like pronounced the muscles and like everything was.
Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, you could see the rib cage. It was like very, like everything felt like very like compact about it, like just tight and like lean. And yeah, the skin was that beigey color. And I still don't really know how to describe this like super accurately, but the skin looked like tacky in a way, where it was like glistening a little bit, where it looks like it could have been like a little moist in a way. But
was it hot in your room at the time?
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
Cool.
Yeah, I keep it cool in there.
Cool.
But yeah, like if you were to like touch it, your hand like wouldn't glide against it, but just like almost like tacky.
People have described them before as being almost like glittery in a way.
Yeah.
Or like shimmery.
Yes.
Shimmery.
Yes.
Can I show you an image?
Yes.
And like if it looked nothing like this, just say it looked nothing like this.
Okay.
But the way you described it, I have a friend of mine who had an experience in his room and woke up with something like looking right into his face. Oh. And I'm just, again, if it looks nothing like this, please let me know. But was it anything like this guy?
It would. Okay, the color, everything was very similar. I'd say the eyes were, like, I didn't see any eyelids.
Okay.
That is extremely similar, though.
Really?
Yeah, the head was a little bit, like, wasn't as, like, tall.
Okay.
To what I could see, where it was, like, it's just, like, a smaller, like.
And actually, the picture on my, it's a little bit more, you can see a little bit more texture kind of there.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. The more I'm looking at it, the cheekbones and everything.
Okay.
That's exactly what I meant.
Okay. I mean, the nose is kind of the same.
Yeah.
And okay.
I'm like tripping out.
Okay. I'll send you this and you can.
Okay.
But yeah, that came from someone who had a one-time experience with something, waking up and this thing was in his face.
Did he like find this online?
He sent that to me and said that he goes, "This is the best thing I can find, this closest to what I can find." And he like even saw like hair on the back of its neck. So he knew it wasn't like a fake kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. You can have that if you want.
Okay, yeah.
That's fascinating.
That is extremely fascinating.
And then, so when you told your parents about this, your mom told you something about the night that it happened to you as well, which is again interesting, and again is something that we've heard many, many times from experiences. What happened with your mom that night?
So she told me that at that same time she was having sleep paralysis, which she never gets ever. Like I've always been the one with sleep paralysis, and so she told me she was having sleep paralysis at that time.
Whoa!
Yeah,
was that her first time ever having it?
I think she might have had it like once or twice before, like in her entire life. But yeah, so she had it that night. And what's also interesting to me is she had it. So the night I told her was a week after I saw the thing. She also had the sleep paralysis the night after I told her.
And you haven't had any experiences since then?
No.
Okay. Okay. Has your dad ever had sleep paralysis?
When he was younger, that's what he like dealt with a lot, was with the demonic things or whatever. He'd have sleep paralysis a lot.
And did your paralysis coincide with your paranormal experiences?
When I would have sleep paralysis, there were Yeah, I think every time I've had sleep paralysis, something paranormal is happening at the same time. Like something demonic is trying to like get to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in a religious household?
Yeah, my parents are Christian.
Okay. Do you consider yourself Christian?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you say demonic, did you ever have anyone come to the house did you ever try to have like an exorcism or any kind of a house clearing, or did anyone in the church kind of let you know this might be demonic, or
No,
that's just how it feels to you?
that's just how it felt to me, just because of like I've always been very like empathic. And so when there's just like such a distinct, like heavy energy and like internal feeling of doom when like something demonic or negative is there. So all these times that would happen to me is just like something so not right here and like so terrifying. And I've had like so many other experiences with spirits and haunted stuff, and it's not supposed to feel like that when it's just like a normal spirit. So you kind of like know what you're dealing with if something like bad comes in.
How do you deal with that as a kid, like growing up and feeling, I imagine you felt unprotected in your own home. How do you deal with that?
Oh, it was terrifying. I mean, I definitely say it was traumatizing. Like I've even like talked about it in therapy and stuff.
It'd be crazy if it wasn't. I mean, that's a really scary thing to deal with.
Yeah, it felt like it just felt like something I had to deal with alone and just like get through it. And eventually I learned just that really like it can't hurt me and not to be afraid. So now if stuff like that happens to me, like I don't feel like afraid because I know that it can't hurt me in theory.
Does it feel like since you became kind of unafraid of it, that it happens less frequently? Like maybe the fear is part of what it enjoyed?
Yeah,
possibly?
it definitely happens less frequently because there were periods, even when I was like, probably like 10 years ago, where it got really bad again with the negative energy.
Okay.
And I was like really terrified of it still then. And I was just so scared. I was like hardly able to sleep at night because I was just like really scared, and it was just getting worse and worse. And then finally I tried to do like cleansing on my own and be like, you know what, like I can't do this anymore. And I was like really stern about it, and things started like taper off. And now that I've learned and I've been doing like the paranormal stuff for like 4 years now, it doesn't really faze me. And if something tries to come to me and like attack me or whatever, I just don't get scared, and it like fizzles out.
Did you have any of the demonic stuff happen outside of your home, or was it always in your home?
It was always like in my home until I started going to haunted places to investigate. And not every time we go somewhere, but I'd probably say it's half and half. That 50% of the time, if we're somewhere haunted, something negative will try to start like coming through. So it's like fairly common for us to deal with. And it's just.
And when you experience it out in the field, does it feel like the same thing that you had as a kid, or does it feel like a different presence?
I'd say most of the time it feels like a different presence, but also like it still feels familiar, like where it all kind of feels like the same in a way. But there's the one at my house, it's like a very distinct feeling of like, I know when it's there. Mm-hmm. Like I just know. So sometimes I think there have been times when I've gone somewhere haunted, and since I'm like open in that way right then, it will try to come through. Okay. Because a lot of times like it's targeted at me.
If you're with a group or whatever, or is it just the two of you that do it, or do you do it with groups and stuff too?
It's just the two of us, but sometimes they'll have like friends or someone like collab with someone and do it. But yeah, most of the time, like if there's something dark there, it's like coming for me for some reason. And I've been told I vibrate at like a lower frequency where it's like easier to access.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Which we'll get to. I want to get to your hypnosis at some point too, but some of that kind of ties into the answers you got from your hypnosis session. What was up with the TV? They said the next morning something was weird going on with your television, a TV in your house.
Yes. So that wasn't the night that I saw the thing in my house.
Okay.
I think it was the following night because then my parents went out of town and I was there alone. And yeah, I just woke up in the morning and the TV in our living room was just on full blast. And this was like around 8 a.m. that I got up. And so I like left my room, was going to go to the bathroom, and the living room's like on the other side of the bathroom. And so when I walked in there, I noticed the TV was just on full blast and I was half asleep still. And I was like, okay, like I'm just going to turn that off later. And then I like got back in bed. I'm like, wait a minute, why is that TV on? Because no one watches TV in that room ever. Like no one uses that TV. My dog actually, I have a husky. When she was a puppy, she chewed up that remote. So you can't even.
Oh, you can't even turn it on?
No.
My next question was maybe there was a remote or some kind of.
No, because I went to go turn it off and I found the remote and it's the one the husky chewed up. So you have to turn it off on the actual TV. Right. I was just like, how did that get turned on?
Very strange.
It was very strange.
So how long after your experience did you go and have the hypnosis kind of regression session?
Let me think.
You said this all went down about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, so it was early on a Monday morning, and it wasn't. Yeah, yesterday would have been 3 weeks, I believe. Okay. Yeah. So then, I think I did the regression. Not this past Friday, but the Friday before. Okay. So I think it would have been like a week and a half after the experience that I did it, and yeah, it's just. That's also when I talked to my parents, they're the ones who suggested that I do the regression and try to see if I can like figure anything out from when I was 8, because a lot of things happened around that time. Like around that age, I started having really bad stomach issues. I ended up getting diagnosed with like Crohn's and endometriosis. And
all the fun stuff.
Yeah. Graves' disease, all these things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Fun.
Yeah. Super fun. And so that started at that time. And also the paranormal stuff in my house and just like with me just like kicked up where I started hearing things more. So like even when me and Amanda go places, like I hear a lot of things like voices and stuff. And at first, like I always heard this stuff and I didn't know if I was crazy or not. But then when we started filming it and we'd go back and watch the footage, you could hear the voices in there where he's like, holy shit.
Oh shit.
Man,
so it wasn't just
crazy.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't just me. It's actually like something, spirits or whatever talking. And a lot of times Amanda can't even hear it and she's a medium. So we just figure it's like some frequency that cameras are able to pick up that I'm also like able to hear too, that frequency, if
Wild.
that makes sense.
I mean, you've covered this in your videos on your YouTube page, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for people most people listening here, people might be aware of you. It's new to me, so I need to go through all your videos. But what kind of things would you hear? And did that sound like similar voices or different stuff? So
I mean, whenever we go somewhere haunted, I'm like, I'll hear someone say something like whether it's my name, Amanda's name, or just like, hi, hey, hello. Like I hear that one a lot, just like a hey. And, or like sometimes it's full sentences, but that's very different than what I heard in my room with the alien because
these you're hearing with your ears.
Yes.
Like a voice. It's
distinct.
Or, right.
Yeah, it's distinct that it sounds like a normal person is talking like outside of my head. And so, yeah, and then just looking back at it, the camera's able to capture it too. So it's like pretty much every time we go somewhere, I'm like hearing voices and the camera's able to pick it up, which is cool because before it's like,
it's helpful.
Am I actually hearing something or what's happening? So yeah, so it's interesting.
In your house, seemed like it was always pretty negative what you experienced when you're out would you have anything kind of on the friendlier or funnier side in your home?
Yeah, I mean, I've like come to find out that there's a lot happening at my house at all times. So it's kind of like once I stopped focusing on like that negative thing that was there, I was able to like notice just normal spirit activity, like things knocking. Amanda, who I do YouTube with, when she comes over, there's a lot of times that she's seen like my really good friend who's passed away. And I was having experiences with him. And that's actually what made me stop being scared of paranormal and leaning more into it, because that was like the wake up call of like, hold on, not everything's bad. There's like normal spirits too.
That's beautiful. Okay.
Yes. And so that really like, it kind of like changed my mind instantly of like, I don't always have to be scared of this. And that piqued my interest more. And I started opening up to it more. And then I met Amanda and she like confirmed things for me. And since then, it's like, I feel like most of the things that happen in my house are just like positive, normal spirits of people.
In your house?
Yeah.
So the whole vibe has kind of changed from when you were younger.
Yeah. And that thing still tries to like come through, but I just know, like, almost just like laugh at it. Like, can't do anything. And it just like immediately stops.
Whoa.
Yeah. My house was built on Native American burial grounds.
Isn't that always the case? I mean,
know,
this is
right?
like, why do we keep doing that?
I have no idea, but yeah, they like Amanda, and we're starting to think, well, we do think that there's like some type of vortex or like portal or something where it's just like stuff is constantly passing through there. It's really weird. And I've talked to, just growing up in that neighborhood, I had friends that also lived in that neighborhood who also had paranormal stuff happening in their house.
Similar things to you? Similar, would it be similar spirits? Did you ever compare notes? Like what kind of experiences were they having?
They were hearing like, they had like a 2-story house and they'd hear someone sprinting upstairs and they'd have the knocking and just sounding like someone else is in the house when there wasn't anyone there.
Whoa.
Yeah. Which was like pretty similar to me because there were a lot of times we'd hear footsteps and stuff like that. But
when you were younger, did you want to move away or move to a different house? Or did you ever ask your parents, like, I'm horrified, can we please get out of here?
I'm trying to think if I asked that specific question. I don't think I ever really like asked about moving. I think it's more so asking about like, can we do something about this? Or can
Like, I don't like this.
someone like protect me or help me with this?
It's really scary. I mean, I can't imagine being, what age did that stuff start for you in your house?
Oh my gosh.
Like as long as you can remember?
Like, yeah. Like little kid.
So even before your 8-year-old experience?
Way before. I feel like honestly, that's some of my like first memories. It's just being so horrified, like in the night, seeing this thing in the corner, like coming towards me. Yeah.
How do you feel like that shaped you to who you are now? That's a traumatic childhood in some ways.
Yeah, definitely. I think it still affects me like sleeping wise. Like I get like really on edge trying to go to sleep anywhere, just like feeling like I'm being watched or just like not safe. So that's the other thing. When the alien was there, I was like, I'm so safe right now.
I'm so intrigued by that part.
I know.
Yeah. And you said it felt familiar to you.
Yes. Where I saw it and it was just like I know you, like an internal feeling of like, I know you.
Any more to that?
I'm trying to think if I can put it more into words, but just like I've seen you before, like it's just, I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to do the regression was because I wanted to see like if I like exactly if how I knew this being, if I did know him. And yeah, because it was really like the emotions of it that made me like the most intrigued by it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Let's go through the regression. How did you find the person that did the regression for you?
I just did researching online and came across like read reviews and stuff like that.
Okay. I went through it last night and I basically wrote out your entire transcript of your session. So we'll quickly go through the questions, and then if there's something you want to expand on, let's do that. And then I have questions I'd love to expand on.
All right, cool.
What was the person's name?
Her name was Dr. Cynthia. I can't remember her last name.
Okay, but she's in your area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you comfortable with her, by the way?
Yeah. Like the first time I talked, because I called her, I'm like, all right, this is crazy, but I think I had like an alien abduction. Like it's just like so weird saying that to anyone on the phone. It's just like, oh my God. But
Is that how you said it? Like, walk me through the phone call when she answers, hi, what happens?
Yeah, I said, I have a bit of a strange request in question. I came across you online, and I was wondering if you have a lot of experience with the alien abduction regression. And she said, oh, yes, I do. And her energy right away was like very like, like she had a good personality where I was able to like laugh about it, like, and feel like I wasn't being judged at all. And be like, okay, she gets it. And
which is how you're kind of approaching it too.
Yeah.
Like, as not like I said at the beginning, I think what jumped out to me about you, because I've talked to a lot of people that have been through this. I've watched 50 videos of people talking about their experiences. And often there's like a kind of a dramatic, it is a dramatic and traumatic thing sometimes, but dramatic tone and heavy. But you seem to come at it in a very kind of light, with like a light mood, with a kind of a sense of wonder. And that's what really drew me to your story. So I'm happy that you found someone that was kind of like that as well.
Yeah. And I don't really know why I'm so eager about it, where he's like, oh my God, like part of me thinks that there's like a lot of stuff answered for me that I've been like scared about my entire life since being 8 years old, and like having that first experience, and then because there was a lot of fear behind that my entire life.
When you're 8.
When I was 8.
Sure.
Yeah. And I was really scared to do the regression in general, because I was like, I don't know if I'm actually like going to remember something that's going to like traumatize me more.
Like, you want answers, but do you really want answers? Okay.
And so, yeah, seeing the thing in my room, the being, and having like such a light energy to it, it kind of like removed like the negative feelings from when I was younger, and being like, I don't know, there's just like a lightness about it, or like.
Oh, okay. So when you saw the being in your room, that immediately kind of helped you with what happened at 8 years old?
Yeah, it's like when I saw it and it felt familiar, like it immediately, like it went into my head of like the connection with 8 years old. Like it felt like the same thing.
Do you think that he wanted you to make that connection, or do you think you came to that completely on your own?
Oh, I don't.
If you don't know, you don't know. Yeah.
Maybe I never even thought about that, but I don't know if I saw it and it just like, it like triggered memories.
Sure.
Or if I saw him and he put the memories. Like, I don't know which one it is.
I've heard both. I mean, I've definitely spoken to people who have had an interaction with something that has made the connection for them with a childhood thing or prior younger adult life connection. All things are kind of possible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good question to think about.
Well, let's go through the hypnosis a little bit, and then I got some listener questions.
All right.
The first question you asked was, what are you doing here? And it just said observing, which is basically what you heard in your room. Did you think when you were, have you been hypnotized before?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, never.
Okay. And how long did it take to get you into because the video's edited and sped up and some edits a little bit here and there. How long did it take you to get into the spot? I
think it was around like 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you were describe how you were getting answers and what the answers felt like. And did you think that you were hearing from the same thing that was in your room or something else?
So it was so weird. I was telling Amanda this the other day, that it was like a portion of my brain was still on, but it was almost like the same way of like that way that alien was communicating with me and things being put in my brain. It felt the same way, but it felt like I had no filter and it was just things flowing out of me.
So like you were some kind of like antenna or something, kind of where you were just receiving, and
it felt like the conscious part of my brain had been turned off, where I wasn't thinking.
It's okay.
Okay. I wasn't thinking. I was just, there was a lot of it I didn't remember until I like watched the video back, and there were really long pauses between like each question. And during that time, like, I don't remember there being like any thoughts in my brain at all. It was just like waiting for the answer. And when those words were there, it just came out of me.
Wow. And did you, were you seeing anything when you would get these answers?
And so like when I started to remember like the memories from when I was 8 years old, it was like I was watching it. Like it was like all visual, like nothing was being said to me then. It was just, I was like inside of a memory.
When you would have that, did you see it through your own eyes, or as if you were an observer watching it happen in front of you?
No, it was through my own eyes.
Okay. So you're kind of reliving something.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question was, what are you doing observing? What's your name, you asked? And it said Sida.
Yes.
Do you have any idea how that was spelled? I just wrote it as S-I-D-A. Do you have any idea?
It was definitely with a Z.
Oh, Zeta.
Yeah.
Zeta.
It was Zeta.
Okay.
Now this is where it gets kind of crazy.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay.
We got time. Let's do it.
All right, let me pull this up.
Please.
Because someone DM'd me about this. Let me find it. Someone who saw that video DM'd me, and he sent me this article, and he DM'd me. It said, before the hypnotherapy, were you aware of the name Zeta? Then he said, aliens from the Zeta Reticuli star system, often called Zetas or Zeta Reticulans, are one of the most common reported alien types. They are typically described as gray humanoids with large black eyes and slender bodies.
Yeah, Zeta Reticuli. Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, ZETA was that. Sure. Are you familiar with Benny and Barney Hill? You ever heard those names?
I've heard of them, yes.
So they were a interracial couple in the 60s in New Hampshire who were abducted together. And during their hypnosis regressions, they did a couple separately. And they drew out this like weird star system that the beings told them they were from. And they drew the Zeta Reticuli star system that we know, and they drew it before it had been discovered. So years later, that star system was discovered by astronomers, but they drew it perfectly, absolutely perfectly on a napkin of what the star system was.
That's so crazy.
Do you think that's what it was saying? That it was...
No,
okay.
I didn't know. Like, this is the first time I've ever heard of like what
you're just getting into this. Oh man, you have
yeah. So when
welcome to the pool. It's deep.
Oh God, yeah. Because when I got that name in the hypnosis, that's how it looked like it was spelt to me.
ZETA.
Yes.
No shit.
And I thought it was pronounced Zeta.
No shit.
Yes. And so when he sent me that, I think this was 2 days ago, maybe. I was tripping out. I was like, what the
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, I was like, I DM'd him back. I'm like, there's no way. Like, I'm losing my mind right now. Because it so clearly was like in my head. And for him to say like the same, like these people to have, I just like can't comprehend it.
I mean, I watched the hypnosis, and that didn't even dawn on me for a second when you said that word, because I was thinking of it spelled differently. But now that you explained it, it kind of gave me goosebumps a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely like
that's really neat. Okay.
Like, what?
The next question you asked was, have you been here before? Meaning your house, your house, and it said yes. What did that feel like to get that answer? Do you remember? Like
it kind of like honestly gave me like a feeling of this stomach drop of like, oh, like it's been here more than I know. But at the same time, like it didn't really like phase me, I guess.
Okay.
Where it's not like I thought it was a bad thing or I was scared. It just kind of like uneasy.
Just an info point. Just okay.
Yeah.
And then the thing that confused me, and then the hypnotist herself started asking questions, but you were getting answers. Was she able to communicate with them as well at the same time? You know what I mean? Like she would ask questions and you would not repeat the question, but you would get the answer. So it was as if whatever you were speaking to was also hearing her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know.
Or maybe it's just you thinking of the question.
Yeah.
That could be it.
Yeah. I think if I was like connected with whatever, like hearing the question in my head is probably enough to like trigger a response.
Sure. I mean, I do know that you don't need to speak with your mouth for them, for whatever this is that we're interacting with, to hear you.
Yeah. Yeah.
As whoever was in the video said, the telepathy of it all, which is, I love it.
I think it was Amanda's husband said the telepathy of it all.
It's a great slogan.
Yeah.
On a t-shirt. The hypnotist asked, how often and when, and the answer you got was frequently. It had been in your house frequently. Interesting.
Like that doesn't surprise me though. Like there's just always been weird things happening around me. Like no matter who I'm with, or like I get a lot of the same phrase from people I surround myself with of the craziest, weirdest stuff always happens when I'm with you. And they're like, does this happen with other people too? And I'm like, well, actually, yeah.
So you're some kind of conduit to something, which I think it's very clear that there are people that are just dialed into something or have some kind of, well, we can talk about lineage later, because the fact that your dad had experiences, this is an incredibly common thing with like bloodlines and lineage and generational experiences. If your dad had paranormal and kind of UFO, alien, NHI, non-human intelligent experiences, it would make sense that it would be passed down to you. Did your mom have anything like this growing up or as an adult?
I mean, not really. She's definitely like open to all of it, and I'd say she's very like in tune with things. And so it was always like very like closed off when I was younger.
Okay.
But now doing what I do, and since they've met Amanda, like she's been able to connect them with like loved ones that have passed on their side, and it kind of like opened them up completely to it. Like in the same way as me when like my friend passed away, where I'm like, it's not all bad. So since then they've both been like a lot more open. And so my mom's had more experiences.
Oh,
like,
beautiful.
In the past, like 3 or 4 years.
So people can kind of open themselves up to it and allow certain things in.
Yeah. Yeah. But as far as the aliens goes, my parents have always like believed in that, like full on. I don't think my mom's ever had any alien experiences or UFOs or anything like that.
Cool. Okay, cool. And then the hypnotist asked, do they always travel alone? Is it always Zeta? And you said no, meaning that other things may have been interacting with you over the years.
Yeah.
Anything from that?
I mean,
any other memories or experiences, or just that was just the answer?
It's just when I think about that now, I get the image of like when I was 8 years old, and like the memory I got from the regression of like laying down and seeing like the aliens around me.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
That's again, like it's just you're hitting on, unless you're completely full of shit and studied almost every kind of abduction mark, you're describing like completely classic situations.
And that's what's crazy to me, because I'm like not well researched in this at all.
Yeah.
And so like when I'm hearing things like this, I'm like, it's like every day I'm kind of like freaking out more and more, because there's still a part of me that's like, I'm crazy.
You're not crazy. I'll tell you right. Like, I'm just telling you, like, you're not, this is a real thing experienced by hundreds of thousands of people for forever.
Okay.
And, yeah, you're not crazy.
All right.
Yeah, you actually have a lot of company, in fact.
Okay.
Since the beginning of time, I think. I mean, this is an ongoing thing. Travel. The hypnotist asked, "Are they coming in pairs in a group?" And you said, "I feel like different ones come individually," which is what we just covered. She asked, "And do they always come just to observe?" And then you said, "Not always." What did that mean to you, if anything?
I mean, that was a little confusing for me too, because I feel like I didn't, like, looking back on it, like I don't really have a full answer for that, but it's almost like they're not always just observing, like sometimes like something's happening too.
Sure.
Don't really know what it is exactly, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Like something's happening.
Okay. Hypnotist asks, when they're not observing, what are they doing? And you said you're not getting a clear answer. You just said. And then you asked, I want to know why they're coming to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they told you that you have a different energy, which is something that you've kind of talked about earlier and that you felt kind of your whole life, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, I've always felt like a little different.
Sure. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. That's good.
Yeah. It's just like,
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
And your brother, you said you have a brother?
Yeah.
And he has not had any of these experiences at all?
No, I think he might have had like seen a UFO experience.
Okay.
I mean, he believes in all of it too, but we've always like kind of lived like two completely different lives, like in every aspect. Like everything I've dealt with, he has not like dealt with.
Okay.
Yeah. Where sometimes like, what
the hell, man? Help me out here.
It's so easy.
When you're having kind of these poltergeist or type experiences, would you ever like be yelling out to the point that your parents would come in or your brother would come in? Would anyone ever like interrupt what was happening to you where they could, as like a witness or any kind of anything like that?
I think like, honestly, the crazy part is I was always the one like going and getting them.
Yeah.
Like no one ever came in and like got me, I guess. Like I was always, and when I would run in there, like I was crying and like, yeah, just like such that like deep feeling of fear that is just, yeah.
I had an experience when I'm not gonna tell the whole story. I've told it before, but I'll tell you off the air. But when I was 16, I woke up to my bed, like shaking, like smashing off the ground, just smashing off the ground.
Oh my.
And I sat up in bed and it was like, have you seen The Exorcist?
Yeah.
It was like her bed doing that slamming thing for like 45, almost a full minute. And I'm sitting in my bed, not scared at all, just like looking around my room to see, is everything shaking? Is this an earthquake? I grew up in Massachusetts, which we don't have earthquakes really. And then when it was done, I was looking around, like, what the fuck was that? And my sister's room was next door to me. And I went into her room and she was still completely sleeping. My parents were upstairs. They didn't hear anything. And no one heard this crazy shit. So that's why I asked that.
Yeah. It's kind of frustrating.
It is. Like, I need a witness. Can I get a witness, please?
Yes, please.
And then the hypnotist asked you, you said you have a different energy. And she said, different how? Why is that intriguing? And they said to you, it's more magnetic. Does that mean anything to you?
I mean, I've kind of like been trying to figure that out too. Like, what does that mean? Like magnetic? Like, I don't think it's in a way of like, oh, like it's a magnetic personality. Like people are drawn to
you.
it.
Right.
Like, I don't think it's like that. I think I don't know. I'm still trying to like wrap my head around that, but like,
I don't know is a fine answer. I mean, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Yep. I'm sure you're going to be getting a lot more questions and hopefully a lot more answers as you go along in this thing.
Yeah.
Next one was hypnotist asked what exactly specifically about her energy that makes her interesting to you. And what you got back was, this is really interesting. It's like an impact in a way, like regenerate, whatever that means. The hypnotist asked, they're interested in you because you do have a different energetic frequency and you can be a bridge between worlds. And you said, that makes sense. That's kind of what I was getting to, but it's blurry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you and her were getting similar feedback.
Yeah.
Which was neat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Next thing was, we'll just go through this quickly, but,
okay.
And you asked what happened when I was 8 years old. And you just immediately said I was taken, which again, the hypnotist had a big reaction. You both got that at the same time.
Yeah.
So when you kind of get that response, what does that feel like to you? If you can, well, I know you're kind of in a weird state, but do you have any memories of when it told you were taken? What did that feel like? And what does it feel like now?
It felt like, it's like I just felt it like in my core, honestly, of like it's kind of like something that like I always felt like happened, but like I didn't want to like acknowledge or accept that or assume that. And so it was almost like being hit with the truth or like reality of like, oh shit, like maybe this did happen. And yeah, it's very like, I guess surreal in a way of, yeah, it's just a whole lot of like acceptance, I guess.
It's a pretty,
like,
it's
like getting hit by something. Of like,
yeah, it's kind of, it's a heavy realization in a way.
Yeah.
And kind of confirms maybe something you thought subliminally for a long time.
Yeah.
Or subconsciously. Hypnotist asks, what happened? How long were you gone? And you said it immediately said 8 hours when you were 8, right? Yep.
Yeah.
I covered that. And then the hypnotist asked, what did you do for the 8 hours? Whatever that means to them. And you said, it's almost like I was there 1 second in the bed, and in the blink of an eye, it looks like I'm laying down. There's a bright, almost like I'm being held down, honestly, on a table.
Yeah.
Again, a very, very common feeling of people that have had these experiences where nothing's touching you, but you feel like you can't, and it's different than sleep paralysis, but you feel like you're being held, but nothing's touching you.
That's literally what it was like. Because even now I was just thinking, it's like, I feel like I was so heavily being held down, but I don't remember seeing any like straps or restraints or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm just making this connection now, but you know that ride at like the fair, like this spaceship?
Something a Tron where you're stuck to the wall, the centrifugal force, like some kind of centrifugal force was holding you down, or like a force field or something.
Yeah.
Again, very common. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Like
dude. You're in. It's happening. I think. I mean, you know, or you're a complete lunatic. It's one or the other. Or maybe a mix of both. Who knows?
Maybe a little both.
And then the hypnotist asked, where is there? Do you know where there is? And you said, it's on a ship. Mm-hmm. That was your feeling. Mm-hmm. Do you have any recall of what you may have seen?
Yeah. Like I remember, so it's like from my perspective, and I remember my arm being out like this, and I saw
just one arm.
I was looking this way, like that, and I remember like a quick zap, and there were 3 of the aliens that I saw in my room standing around a table.
The tall ones.
Yes, and they were just like going up, like doing whatever it was they like had to do. Like it was like a routine thing for them, and like didn't really like give a fuck about like what I was doing or feeling. Like they were just like,
they had a task and they're going to get it done.
Yes. Yeah. Like very, like so stoic. And then there were like smaller ones, like kind of like just like walking around the table, like an assistant, like a nurse would be doing.
And what did those look like?
They were like, those ones had like a little bit bigger heads like this, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, they had, like the more rounded head. And like smaller bodies, I'd say. And yeah, they were like, had to have been like this tall. And they were like, what?
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'd say there were probably like 3 or 4 of those ones. What?
Okay, I'm sorry. It's just wild to see you talking about this, and just kind of when you were in the video, in both videos, when you were talking, I'd be like, she's going to say this next. And like when you said there was 3 beings, I'm like, it's always 3s. It's like, it was crazy. It's just, it's so wild how much this resonates with all of that shit.
God, and it's like so clear to me. Like I can see the whole scene. Like you could see it was like lights above, and they like the room was probably like the size of this, honestly.
Okay. Was there did you see any furniture? What colors did you see? Any electronic devices, anything like that?
I just saw like whatever they were holding that like zapped my arm. It was like, what did that chrome. Look like? It was metal for sure. And it was kind of like a tube shape, but I felt like it almost like forked at the end a little bit.
Like at the end, a prong or like what?
Kind of, yeah. Like it was like a very quick like motion, like a very quick like zap.
Was the device, was it like a thick, like a paper towel roll, or thin like a drumstick, or like a size of a pen?
It was like a little bit thicker than a drumstick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And to the little guys, how did they differ besides like their head? You said their heads are a little bit bigger than the tall ones.
Mm-hmm.
Any other differences as far as appearance or like the proportions or eyes or ears or anything like that?
Well, it's honestly like I was kind of like a more above angle of them, where like their faces weren't like right here at the same level as my face. Like I was like the table was a little bit higher than them.
Okay.
So I could kind of see like the shape of the head. I think that the eyes were like a little bit bigger, I'd say. And they like it's almost like they were like they were like a colony of ants in a way, where they're just like programmed to do something and they're just doing it. Like they didn't seem like they have a lot of like thoughts of their own.
No autonomy.
Yeah. Like they just know what they're supposed to do and they're doing it. Okay. Well, like the tall ones are like actually doing like the important stuff, I guess. And they like definitely seem like they had more emotion, but there was like just stoic, like, yeah.
So the general feedback from experiencers for decades and decades is that the tall ones are kind of in control and overseeing what's going on. And it's not like a settled debate, but people think that the smaller ones are more the worker bees. And there's some kind of like biological robot that are just task oriented to just go around and do their jobs for the bigger ones.
That's so crazy.
Was that kind of your experience?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they kind of like move quick and kind of, oh, sorry. How did everything move?
Yeah. I was telling this, like, whenever.
I don't want to lead you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. Yeah. When I've told like Amanda or like, I think I told my mom this like right after the hypnosis thing, and I was just laughing because it's almost comical, like watching them. It's
goofy.
Like, do. That's how he's like, do.
They're like Oompa Loompas or something.
Yes, like Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
Just like here and there and like constantly
zipping around. Yeah. Yeah.
That was like right after the hypnosis. I told my mom that they're just like literally just the sound I would put with them is do.
Yeah, that's it. That's perfect. Yeah, people have said that the taller ones they're in charge, but they're like you said, they're kind of cold and unemotional is what you said, which is a really great word.
Yeah.
And the smaller ones are just like don't give a fuck. They're just like they're little they're like Roombas.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Like Roombas.
Abduction Roombas in a weird way.
Yeah.
So that kind of feels like your experience.
100%.
Interesting.
Like, they just like it's like the lights are on, but no one's home.
That's very. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Hypnotist then said, "So what was happening?" And you said, "I'm seeing something. I guess whatever it is being printed on my arm." As what you just said. Quick zap. Almost like a tracker.
Yeah.
Is that what you were told in the hypnosis, or is that a deduction that you made? Do you remember?
It was like, what I remember is like seeing the thing like get on my arm, and then in my head it was me like tracker.
Okay.
Like that was
quick connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like, I don't know if like, well, this happened, like whoever like communicated that to me, like this is tracker.
Right. Quick connect. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. And then she said like an aura ring. You said, yeah, kind of just everything. And then you asked, excuse me, what's the purpose of this? And the answer you got was, and also how long between questions would you get an answer?
There was like the fastest one I got was probably the 8 hours. Like that was just like
the taken one or the 8 hour. Okay.
Both
8 hours.
like taken and 8 hours were like pretty quick. The other ones, like, I'd say the average was between like 30 seconds to 2 minutes.
Oh, so there's some time. There's really some time in there.
Yeah. I'd say like the average is probably like between 30 and a minute. But there were like a couple that took like 2 minutes for me to say anything. And then like looking back on that, I was like, that's crazy to me because I don't remember like time gaps when I'm talking to her. So like watching myself sit there for like a minute, just not saying anything at all. And then it's like, I completely lost track of time while doing that too, where it's just,
I wonder what was happening in that time.
I don't know. And I don't remember. It was, I mean, it's like I said, there were none of my own thoughts were happening at that time either. It's just like a blank slate, which is like weird for me because
Sure.
like, I always have stuff going on in my head. So it's
Sure.
like,
Great.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was,
Cool. And you said, what's the purpose of this?
Mm-hmm.
And the response you got was, it sounds so weird, but it just said to regenerate the human race. You started laughing. And to something bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
Does that mean anything to you?
I mean, all I could even there is something like I do know about, like I've heard people talk about like hybrids, like them taking eggs or whatever to make hybrid babies. And like, I have heard that stuff.
When you hear that, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I've definitely I've met like some people where I'm just like, there's something like different about you. Like,
yeah, you're out of place here.
Yeah. Whereas like, I'm like, I mean, it could be in theory, like that could be a thing. But yeah, like, I guess I'm neither like 100% convinced on that, but I'm also not saying like that's not like,
so you're open to wherever it goes.
Mm-hmm. And it kind of like that, the hypnosis thing kind of made me like have second thoughts about that, being like maybe that actually is like happening. Like maybe they are like taking eggs and doing things, trying to like create hybrids for whatever purpose it may be.
Because you talked about, I think after the hypnosis, you did kind of like a breakdown of what it was like for you. Mm-hmm. And you were saying that your issues you were having as a little girl, or in your 20s, you had a period of time where what was happening?
Yeah, so I just randomly like stopped ovulating. So I went to doctors, and at that point, like I was infertile, like I wouldn't be able to have kids. And it was just very like out of the blue, and no one really like knew what was causing that.
So they couldn't find a medical reason for this to be happening.
I do have endometriosis.
Does that affect fertility?
It can, yeah.
Okay.
That can affect fertility if it's like, I'm not super like knowledgeable on that, because like I didn't like, that was never like an issue for me of like, it was mainly just like I would have pain and stuff like that. But like for the most part, like my hormone levels were good, like everything was fine. And then all of a sudden it just like wasn't fine, where I started feeling like really shitty. And so I started to do like more tests again. And that's when they did the blood test and saw that like I wasn't producing progesterone.
Okay.
And progesterone is released once you ovulate. So that's how they knew I wasn't ovulating. And so for like a year and a half, I was having to do like the ovulation test and some other things, trying to like be fertile, I guess, to have kids at some point. And it's just randomly all of a sudden it like came back and I was like normal again. But yeah, during the hypnosis, there were like such slight like glimmers or like vague interactions of like my eggs being taken like for a hybrid program.
You saw this, or you felt this?
It was like the communication again of like, I wasn't seeing this, but it was like being communicated with me, because that was like always like kind of a mystery for me. And it was just like, I think it was after the question of if it like caused my health issues. And so,
and I think it said yes and no, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Like that's when I got like the images of like, it's not like I was cut open or anything like that, but like stuff was being, sorry.
I thought I could.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stuff was being like moved around like internally, like in my organs.
You have 2 spleens?
Yeah, I have 2 spleens. Super random, but yeah.
Lucky you.
I know.
Lucky you.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, stuff was being moved around in there. And then it was after that my autoimmune stuff triggered. And so what I got was that regardless of what happened, like that stuff was still going to be triggered in me. But since there was like a foreign body inside of me, that my body just like triggered that autoimmune response of like fighting itself.
What do you mean there's something inside? Like, what do you mean?
Like I could feel like something, they're like poking around in there.
Oh, whatever you were experiencing.
Yeah, when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
Like stuff was being moved. Like I could feel it, which is very like...
Was it like a medical thing being done to you? Were there tools involved, or you just felt there was nothing near you, and things were just moving kind of on their own?
Okay,
or was that being done to you?
This is weird now because it's like what comes to my mind is like it was almost like a magnetic pull of like I didn't feel like there was anything physically like inside of me, but some type of magnet like able to like move things around, like looking for something or looking to see something. And they're like using something magnetic to move things around inside of me.
So no incisions, nothing. Nothing going in like gynecologically or anything like that. Just something was happening.
Yeah. Something was happening. And honestly, I don't know if like there are like vague flashes of like something like gynecol.
Logical.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. At that age or throughout life?
Like at that age, like all in that instance. Which is, it's like
it's a heavy experience.
Yeah. And that's why I was I remember feeling like anger and stuff during like the hypnosis of like, what the fuck? Like no one was saying anything to me and like this stuff was happening and they're like very stoic and all. And it was almost like resentment in a way.
Well, a lot of people describe feeling like you don't have permission to do this. You kind of feel violated and yeah. I mean, you kind of are. I mean, it tracks.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's very weird. And so, I just remember like feeling like stuff being pulled around inside of there. And, I don't know if they were like checking to see, like, I don't know what was going on, honestly.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Do you have any memories of that other later times in life? Any kind of exams or any kind of that feeling again of stuff happening internally that you're unaware of?
Not really. Not that I can really think of.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Hypnotist asked, are you meant to procreate? You said, I don't know. Hypnotist asked, or is it an energetic regeneration? And this is interesting. You heard from them and it said, it's almost like a physical regeneration where it's kind of saying I have a specific type of energy that they look for to try and grow in the population, which I know sounds weird. It's more like in tune.
Huh.
Which is, again, very common for the people have talked about is like they're told that there's something in your DNA or something in your bloodline that they're kind of drawn to.
Really? I
didn't
even know that either.
Do you have any kind of Native American bloodline?
Yeah, my
of course
my dad's, it's either his grandma or great grandma was 100% Native American.
Do you know what tribe?
Sioux.
Hey, me too, dog.
Really?
What's up? Hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There's some weird through line with kind of Native American bloodlines, it seems like.
Interesting. Yeah, she was like full on like 100% Native American.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I almost forgot to ask you that because that was a big question.
That's so
in tune. So that kind of ties into the hybrid thing of them looking to kind of get certain bloodlines to mix with their own, allegedly. I mean,
yeah.
This is all, who knows what's true and what's not, but this is part of like the long-standing lore, if you will.
I mean, I could, like, part of me like totally could see that this being like a thing. Like, I mean,
We would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, humans would do it if we went to a different planet or a different, we've done it on this planet in different continents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't something else do it?
And someone said to me the other day, they were like, and this kind of blew my mind because they made the comparison of how we have like experimented on monkeys and observed monkeys like in a enclosure. And they're like, we're super close to them in DNA or whatever.
Very close. We're
Very
so close.
But yet we're so far like above them, like in what we're able to do. And they made that comparison with aliens. Like we're the monkeys to the aliens.
Sure.
Like, we're so close to them, but they just have, I think it was like even like 1% of knowledge or whatever more. And they're like,
that's all it would really take. Yep.
Yeah.
And then if you look at stuff like the missing link in our evolution, there was a time when like we were still kind of Neanderthal kind of caveman.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's just a big jump in intelligence and in the way we are in our where our bodies formed. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe they got involved and injected a little bit of their juice in that time.
That's like I did the ancestor, or what is it, 23andMe, whatever it is.
2% Zeta Reticuli.
No, I'm in like the top percentile for closest to Neanderthal.
Oh, cool.
Of the population.
That's cool. I wonder what that means.
Well, yeah, I wonder what that means.
Wow, that's very strange.
Yeah.
And then the hypnotist, she kind of paraphrases and she said, like, Mackie, what do you want from this experience? And you said, it sounds funny, but I feel connected to them. Wait, is that what it is? Oh, I feel connected to them. I can't even believe I'm saying that. I'm not opposed to whatever's going on here.
Yeah, that kind of tripped me out. Like, wait a minute.
How so?
Because I'm like, I don't want like all this random shit being done to me. Like, I'm not cool with that. If I'm being taken all the time and having stuff done, like that's not me saying like, go ahead and do that. Because I definitely don't want that. But I think whatever has been or whatever has happened with them, like they don't mean any harm to me. They're not going to hurt me and they're not trying to do anything bad. Where, I don't know, I guess it's just like goes back to that feeling I had of like comfort and safety, where it's like, I'm cool with you.
People have kind of compared it to like, you have a dog.
Yes.
You've taken your dog to the vet before.
Uh-huh.
The dog hates going to the vet. It hates every moment of it and it feels like it shouldn't be there, but you're doing it with love and compassion because the dog needs to go.
Yeah.
And it who knows, it might be a similar kind of thing where we don't like that it's happening, but it might be eventually for your own good or our collective own good.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I think, whatever the gut feeling I have is whatever's been happening is not for anything bad. It's for an overall like good, whatever that end result is or what's happening. It's something positive.
Okay. At this point, the therapist says that you, Mackie, you get to decide what hangs out in your space. So you want to chat with Zeta. I know there was a bunch of them. And you said, whichever one it is feels like male, masculine. You said, my question, how come you didn't say, oh, no, never mind. We already covered that. Then you were paraphrasing, when I was 8, I was scared. They were cold and didn't explain anything to me or say you're going to be okay. They were unemotional. I felt safe with the recent contact because you knew them and you were familiar with them is what your feeling was. Interesting. You said they're not emotional. It doesn't seem, which again tracks with what people have experienced. Next question you asked was, I also want to know if my health issues have anything to do with that. Then the hypnotist says, can we set a standard that this is not allowed from this moment on? Period, full stop. You do not have permission ever again to take her without permission. Do you think that works?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do, honestly.
I don't think so either. Unfortunately, I don't think so either.
Yeah, so it's like, all right.
I think when you talk to people, I mean, there's people that have had much worse reactions. Like I feel like you're taking it as well as you possibly can, which is kind of a gift. Because there's people that are like, truly, truly traumatized. I came into possession of a bunch of like old hypnosis session recordings and paperwork from the 90s, and you hear some of these regressions and people having eggs and fetuses taken from them and really traumatic experiences. And they have asked, like, please don't do this to me again. And it just kind of keeps sort of like they have a task, and I don't think they can really be like bargained or reasoned with, whether it's good or bad. But I don't think we have a lot of control in what they do.
I don't think there's like any control. It's like either it's gonna happen or it's not. So might as well just be like, all right,
along for the ride.
But yeah, I mean, it was like up until if I didn't have that experience with the alien a few weeks ago and I went to do a regression and I remember this stuff, I think I would have had a completely different reaction. I think I would have been like horrified, traumatized, like just like fucked up over it. But since I had that experience where it's so like comforting, it kind of like, I don't know, it just changed the perspective of like, I know they're not going to hurt me. I know it's for like a greater good, whatever that is.
Sure.
It's just like it's like embedded in me almost. Like, I just know that's what the truth is.
Sure. So maybe that contact event was like just a preparation for letting you in more on your own life.
Yeah,
in a
maybe.
weird way. Fascinating. Okay. And then you said, I guess the only other thing I want to know is why I saw him the other night. Like, what was the purpose of that? Like, why show up and show himself, I guess? The answer you got says, because stuff is coming up and they want me to know that we're working together on it. And they're watching me and they think I'm ready now to know they're here.
Yeah.
Anything from that?
I mean,
anything like what you could be, like what's coming up? Any sense of what's coming up?
I mean, I don't really know. Like I felt like really vague to me too, where like, I don't know, like in terms of what, like, is something like some event gonna happen? Or are they talking about like my personal life, or is it like that seemed like vague to me of like what they're referring to, but also like, again, kind of comforting knowing that, okay, maybe I'm not alone in whatever's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of experiencers who have said that they have kind of been told that they're, I'm not saying you're one of these either, but that something is going to happen and that they're going to need you for something, or that you're going to be part of whatever this thing is to help or to assist in society or something. That may not resonate or not, but
I have always been like the type person where like, genuinely, like all I want to do is like help people in life. Like that is what I get, I guess, what is it? My purpose from, or
it fulfills you.
Fulfills me. And it's like a deep feeling for that. That's like what brings me joy. And so I don't know, that would make sense. Like, I'm always down to help.
That's great.
Count me in.
We need more people like you. That's a beautiful thing. And then, so your post session, speaking to camera, kind of paraphrasing, but you said, when you were getting answers, they weren't your thoughts that you were kind of channeling, I guess. Words were just coming out. Memories kept coming after the session, which you talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
So since then, things keep kind of coming back to you. One memory was being on the table with 3 beings, which I freaked out about because before you said 3, I said I knew you were going to say 3. And often people will have these abduction experiences at 3:33 in the morning, 3 in the morning. It's always like there's something about. Yeah, so you get 3 dots on your arm. Yeah. And I don't know what this is all about. Yeah, I think we covered all that kind of stuff. Do you think you'll do another hypnosis session?
I mean, possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried to connect with the being again? Have you tried to connect with or ask it any more clarifying questions? And
no.
Okay.
I haven't, but part of me like kind of wants to, but also at the same time, like, part of me thinks I'm still crazy. So I'm like, we're just gonna sit here and talk to something that doesn't exist. But
I feel strongly that you're not crazy. I feel really good about that.
I mean, I know I'm not like actually crazy, but still, it's just like it blows my mind. Where it's like even like the people that have said things that like resonate, like the guy who DM'd me. It's just like it's just like that's the only way to describe it. Blows my mind when like something lines up where I was like, how can this even be?
Put on your headphones. I'm gonna play, if you don't mind, I'm gonna play you this. Let me know if you can hear this. Okay. This is my friend Jamie, who I sent your videos to, and she sent me this message before she watched your hypnosis session. So here we go.
Okay, I'm shook. First of all, I want to thank you from the depths of my soul for sharing those videos. Thank you. I made 4 comments before watching her hypnosis video, and I mentioned to you that I do feel like it was very much a clinical, scientific, medical observation. I did not feel fear at any point in time. My mother was in sleep paralysis, and I consciously recall my body being my spirit, my body being suspended in the corner.
So her experience, she woke up and she was looking down at her own self sleeping. Her mom was sleeping behind her, and she saw 3 beings around her. So that's what she's referring to here.
Like we described in the corner of the ceiling, yet I was looking at my physical temporal body. It was the out-of-body experience, for lack of better words. Fuck me. I just, I'm overwhelmed right now. And I would like to be hypnotized. I would like to learn, because my grandfather and my uncle also had encounters. They probably felt too much shame within a Baptist community to talk about them, but I'm very curious to ask, obviously, about the medical aspect, the harvesting, particularly with endometriosis, and
which she
the
has
fucking
as well.
Scar. Yeah. Like, what does hers look like? Again, not painful, no memory of it whatsoever. Just woke up with it the next day. But I'd be very curious to know if it was the same beings that were observing, like, the lineage of my family, and if so, why? Is it that magnetic force? I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm really fucking emotional right now, and in a beautiful way. Thank you for this.
And she has 3 marks in a triangle on her thigh.
No way.
Yeah. So she really resonated with what you were saying, and I'm sure she's not the only one.
Yeah, no, that just hearing that, I'm like, oh my God. The endometriosis too.
Yep. Yep. And her uncle and grandfather had experiences with, they saw craft, which is immediately followed by missing time, years apart. One, I think they both lost about 6 hours of time. And she's had these experiences since she was a little girl.
Wow.
So the overlap is crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like you're entering a world with plenty of like people that have had very similar experiences. So she was 6 years old when she had her first experience. Scar, next day, no pain. She did not feel like she was taken to a ship. No fear. Medical. She felt safe. Observation and of her and her mother. 3 beings, male, female, and a learner, which might have been one of those little, kind of similar kind of thing. Yeah. Grandfather, uncle, and they have Cherokee blood.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty crazy shit.
That really is.
Yeah.
So weird.
And then my friend Jason listened, and he wanted to send in a few questions for you. Did you see the being as you were waking up or after you were already awake, which you said you woke up to it? Mm-hmm. So you opened your eyes and it was just like there.
I opened my eyes I opened my eyes and then my eyes looked up to the corner and it was there.
Did you wake up normally or you like startled awake
No.
or?
Like I woke up so normally and so clear headed. Like it's not like, cause even every morning when I wake up, I'm like groggy and like, I'm such a slow person to wake up. But this was like, I opened my eyes and I felt like just completely like sharp, like it felt just so clear headed, not sleepy or anything.
Is 5 a.m. your normal wake up time?
No,
Okay.
God, no.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if you're some kind of weirdo. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay. And then he said, did it last long enough that you could have gotten up and moved toward it?
My mom asked me that question too. And I could, like the amount of time it lasted, I definitely could have done that, but that wasn't even a thought in my mind. It was like I kind of like sat up like on my arm and it was just like immediately we're just observing you. Like, and that's when I'm like, okay, good enough for me. And just rolled back over.
Cool, man. Peace.
Yeah.
Thanks for sleeping.
Yeah.
And you had no thought to like get a picture or anything like that?
Nothing like that.
Okay. When I saw my thing, I watched this thing for 2 full minutes and getting a picture didn't even go through my brain. The phone was right next to me in my car and just didn't even go through my head.
I think I was literally like had my arm on my phone leaning up to look at it. And it like wasn't even, definitely not a thought whatsoever to try and take a picture.
Wow. Okay, cool. Was there any interdimensional glow or hologram effect when you were looking at him?
No, there was no, I don't think it would be that. It was very like lit up though, where it was like.
From the front or from behind?
From the front. Like it like wasn't hard to see. Like it didn't look like there was a light shining on it, but it was like perfectly clear.
Was the room otherwise dark?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that. But yeah, the room was dark. There was no TV in the room, like nothing like that. But I could like see every feature, even like that glistening on its skin.
Yep.
Yeah.
People have talked about seeing craft before where the whole thing is self-illuminated and it can be even over the water or over the ground. And it's bright, but it doesn't cast any light on the ground or anything around it.
So I've actually had an experience with that before.
Tell me.
Too. Okay.
Tell me.
Right. Okay, so this was I'd say this was probably like 8 years ago, and I was at a house party in Huntington Beach, and we were in the backyard. There's like 15 of us. We're just standing there talking, and I see this blue sphere in the sky, and it's just like complete, like a perfect sphere, just bright, like neon blue lit up. And this was before everyone like had drones and like all that shit.
How far away do you think it may have been?
So I'm in the backyard. It had to have been like it would have been like a street over and up.
Oh, pretty close.
Yeah, pretty
close.
Maybe like a couple streets over and
Okay.
up. But
Okay.
yeah, so I see it appear. It goes down, it goes up, it goes diagonally to the side. It was just going all over the place. And I'd never seen anything move like this. Like not a helicopter or like whatever. Like I've never seen anything move like this. And it was such a bright blue sphere, but like it didn't hurt your eyes to look at it, like a bright light or anything like that. And
did everybody see it at the party?
This is where it gets weird.
I bet they didn't.
So I go, oh my God, everyone, do you guys see that? Do you guys see that? All of them turn and look at it and they all go, yeah, and then go back to talking. And I'm watching, like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And I was like, had that same sense of like panic inside me. And so I'm watching it do all these things. And I'm like, no. Like, seriously, like everyone look, what is that? And they all look at it and they say, we see it. And they go back to talking. And, I got their attention one more time and I said, what, like, do you guys see that? And they're like, yes, we see it. And they were like with a rude tone that time. But I was like,
you're like a kid tugging on mom's jacket.
Yes.
Like, mom.
And I like could not and still cannot even fathom how no one cared about this besides me. And
I've heard this before too. Yeah.
Really?
Yep. There's also cases where people will be looking at the same thing and they see completely different things.
That's
different
crazy.
shapes, different colors. They see it move different. Two people looking at the same exact thing and they see it differently.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like
Any
another-
sound? Anything?
Nothing.
Did you hear anything?
No sound, nothing. It was just like a perfect blue sphere that was just moving erratically, like all over.
Any sense of how big it might have been?
Well, while it was in the sky, it looked like it was like if I had it right here in front of me, it would be like the size of a basketball.
Okay.
But it was like I could tell it's like farther away, and it was about that size. I don't know if that makes sense.
So if you were holding your hand out in front of you,
Yeah.
how big would it be in this? If you're holding your hand out, how big would it be with your fingers?
Okay. Oh gosh. Maybe like
a baseball?
It was big.
Like a
yeah.
baseball.
Yeah, like
kinda.
like a in the
To you,
distance.
yeah.
Yeah, like a baseball, I'd say. Or no, I think it was bigger than that. Maybe it was a basketball at the distance.
That's big. Yep.
It was like a basketball at the distance.
Interesting.
Very clear. Like it was easy to see.
I can't believe I didn't ask you earlier. Have you seen other craft before?
There was that one's like the most like vivid in my head. And then there was one time I saw something like kind of weird, like in the Newport Back Bay at night, where it was just like a light, that was like a smaller one. That was like a baseball,
Okay.
and that was at a distance. Like I was on this side of the bay, and it was like on the other side.
Okay.
But it was like a steep mountain side. Like there's no trail, like nothing. And it was like or maybe like the size of a softball from across. And it was just this light that was kind of doing the same thing. And
No discernible pattern, just kind of like.
it was kind of just like hovering there, and then like move a little bit. And I was watching it like just closely, like, is that a UFO? Like, what is that thing? And it was just kind of like moving a little bit, like back and forth, and yeah, and then it just vanished.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Cool.
zipped off.
Jason also asked, did it disappear when you looked away and then back? No, because you saw it for, you said about 10 seconds, 8-10 seconds?
The alien?
Yeah, in your room.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
room.
I saw it. Yeah. It was probably, no, it was probably like a total of like 20 to 30 seconds.
It's a long time to see something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can really kind of have it burned into your
From
brain.
the time I opened my eyes to when I rolled over, it's probably like,
Do you have artistic skills for drawing?
yeah.
Have you drawn it yet?
No.
Will you draw it? At
can
some point,
try.
I would love for you to draw it
Okay,
at some
yeah, I
point.
can
I would love
try.
to see that. And I can pop it in the episode if you don't mind. And then was the telepathic part like hearing clearly spoken words or more like thoughts conveyed? We covered that immediately. That's the part that like, that's when you were describing that part in the video, that's when I was like, I need to speak to you. Because that's such a unique, specific experience that you cannot describe to someone unless they have had it happen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it really is. And it's like almost frustrating trying to describe it to someone who it hasn't happened to, because it's like there is no perfect way to describe it.
No, because you're not hearing it, you're not seeing it. It's just like it's just there.
Yeah,
and
but
I just keep doing this. It's just like it's so focused.
is.
It's just like
It's so clear. It's so clear.
in the center of your head. Have you had people in the comments talk about that at all? Have you had any of that stuff yet? That have had the telepathic stuff.
Yeah, there's people that have had like that same experience of something like telepathically talking to them that like didn't have like a sound to it, like didn't have like a male or female. It was just like being clearly like put in their head.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll do more stuff on this topic, or are you gonna go back to all ghost stuff? What's the future of the channel?
I mean, I've always been like open to it and like interested in it. And so now it just makes me want to like research more, and like, especially after this, like I want to figure some shit out. Cause
If I can help in any way
Okay.
and give you resources, and
Yeah.
there's a couple books that on that shelf you should probably check out.
okay.
But this has been awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me about the channel. When did you guys start the channel?
I think we started that I think we've had it for 4 years now.
It's a huge success.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Like we started it just for fun. It was like during COVID, and we're like, let's go to haunted places. We're both like into this. And
How'd you guys meet?
On TikTok, because I was having the haunted stuff happening at my house. Then Amanda posted a video about her being a medium and the stuff she's seen, and we had very similar experiences growing up, like with things going on in our house. So I just reached out to her and like, hey, you want to come check out my haunted house? And she was like, okay. And she came over and we just clicked instantly and became really good friends. And then probably a year later, we're like, why don't we go to haunted places together? Like, let's do this. And so we decided to do that, and then it just became a job.
Awesome.
And we're like, oh, well, this is fun.
You guys are living a cool life.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Have you had any incredibly scary experiences when you've been in the field?
Yeah, I've had like quite a few. Well, honestly, the scariest experiences we've had have been with real people.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, just, I think when looking back on it, the times where I'm like, oh my God, I was so scared. It's been when we've been out places and we encounter a person that is just like not right. But
got you.
Yeah, and it's like in a lot of those places, like that's where like the demonic stuff is too.
Sure.
So yeah, I've had a lot of experiences of like things scratching me or like pushing me. Like I don't know why. It's just like a very physical thing. Like they're just attracted to me like that. And so yeah, that's really scary when it happens. But yeah, I'd say anything with a demon is pretty scary to me. Like we don't like messing with that stuff or yeah, none of that.
At this point in your life, if you could go back from the beginning and turn all this stuff off, would you rather none of this ever happened, or at this point would you take it again?
I would definitely take it again because I feel like it's made me like who I am today. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's helped me like be an empathetic person too. And yeah, I probably wouldn't change anything because my entire life would be different just from all of it.
Sure.
So who knows what I would be or who I would be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where can people find you guys?
Our YouTube channel's Mackie and Amanda. So you can find us there. Or my Instagram's Mackie Albertson. I also have a TikTok, Mackie Albertson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the show on Instagram as well, TikTok?
We're mainly YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. Well, guys, go check them out. It's fascinating stuff. I need to start deep diving your stuff. Again, like I'm new to you as of 3 days ago, and I'm so grateful that you came in today. Yeah. This has been really interesting. And I also think that you talking about it is going to help some people because there's a stigma to this stuff. As there is with paranormal things, I'm sure you've seen the exact same thing there.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you very much for coming and talking about it. This has been a blast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've learned some things.
Of course. And if things keep going on, maybe come back again and maybe both of you come in sometime. We can talk about your other experiences together. That could be a blast.
That'd be cool.
Mackie, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.